Riding around in my town, keep chasing that bag, cause I'ma keep on going. I'ma keep on showing.
South Central, we in the building. Mud Life, we in the building. Let's get it.
And I'm Cher Calvin. A Pride Day event at a local elementary school turns violent when parents clash.
Many started yelling and screaming at each other, some even throwing punches. Police were called in to separate the protesting parents from those who were there to...
Why do you got to be around elementary schools, bro? Like, why do you got to bother kids, man? Like, I believe that kids should not be getting taught about straight sex, gay sex, no sex, just what their parents want to teach them, right? I think that parents have dominion over the child's mind, right? Whatever they learn, what they're taught, right? Outside of school, their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, this shouldn't be a curriculum at all. This should not be taught in, especially elementary schools at all, right? That's my take on it, but let's get back into this.
Support the event at Saticoy Elementary in North Hollywood. The assembly was supposed to highlight diversity and inclusion. Instead, it turned into a display of anger and animosity.
How is going to elementary school teaching about pride, like LGBTQ, sexual preference, diversity and inclusion? It's all a grift. Let's get back into it, guys.
Instead, it turned into a display of anger and animosity.
They should. These are kids, man.
For children as we begin Pride Month, KTLA's Mary Beth McDade joins us live from North Hollywood with what stoked the protests today. MB.
Yeah, and Mike and Cher, while the war of words outside turned into violence inside, the assembly went off as planned.
Leave our kids alone.
Facts. Stay away from the kids, man.
Shoving, and one person was even knocked to the ground outside Saticoy Elementary School in North Hollywood. The LAPD was there to try to keep the peace, while the dueling demonstrators clashed over opposing views about a pride assembly being held at the school.
I disagree with the fact that a kindergarten should not.
For the LGBTQ community, you could have been anywhere. Why do you choose an elementary? What's the purpose of that? Why do you choose elementary? You could target people that could understand situations, right? But why choose an elementary school, man? You're asking for problems. Let's get back into it.
Have to be educated on this. There comes a time and a place where they all do need that education, but kindergarten and elementary is not the place.
Kids are not even old enough to understand this, right? Let the kids be kids. Focus on school ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. This is not acceptable in society. This should not be acceptable in society, right? And I understand why the parents are outraged, man. Let's get back into it.
Los Angeles is very diverse. So in public schools, there's going to be students who have same-sex parents.
Let the same-sex parents talk to the kids, man. Why are you worried about them?
LGBTQ families was read.
There is one sentence in the book. It is many pages, but the one sentence says some families have 2 moms and some have 2 dads. It also talks about some families are raised by their grandparents. Some are raised with just one parent. If
the parents don't want their child to know this information at this time, they should be able to display that. They should be able to tell the district, hey, I don't want my kids knowing this, right? I don't want this in my kids' curriculum. That's fair. Right? If I don't want my kids to know this, I just don't want them to know it at this time. It's not the perfect time for that. They shouldn't be caring about that. Right? Let's get back into it.
To the existence of LGBTQ families.
When we went to the educators and we said, what are you going to tell my child when he comes to you and says, you know, I have a mommy and a daddy. What does it mean to have 2 daddies? My mommy was pregnant with me. Which daddy was pregnant? How did the daddy have a baby? None of them were able to answer our questions. We as parents have the right to be able to determine when and where the appropriate setting is for our children.
Yes, ma'am.
To learn about that.
We're told the pride
she does. They
went
do.
On as
right?
planned, and the book was read.
I just got out of the assembly, to come out and see how's everything going up here. It's nothing bad. It's really like education about different cultures, about LGBT when celebrating Pride Month.
All right, guys, that's the video, man. My take on this is this, man. If you're a grown person, I don't care if you're gay, straight, lesbian, or I don't give a fuck what you are. If you're a grown person going to elementary school, teaching about sex in any type of way, right? Something's wrong with you, and you need to be investigated because that don't make any sense, right? Out of all places, you want this pride to go into elementary schools, where kids is barely learning their ABCs, why does it matter? Why does it matter that much, man? I think that parents should have dominion over the kids, right? That's not even a question. That's not even a conversation we need to have. I understand why the parents are fueled. It's because that we didn't ask for that. When I send my kids to school, I didn't think they were going to be getting taught that, because in elementary school, through my whole history, was not been taught anything about this, right? There was no about being Power Rangers and being firefighters or being whatever the hell they want to be, right? Why are you trying to indoctrinate the kids in this way? Why? Why does it matter so much? Why? Right? If that's the case, have your own kids and you talk to them about that, right? Other parents have the right to stick up for the child and complain about what's been taught to the child that's outside of what they know, right? They're not cool with that, and that's okay. That's fine. Not everybody gonna agree to shit like that, right? What you need to do is talk to the parents that agree with this, who allows this, right? And stay away from the ones who don't agree with it. It's that simple, right? The problem could be solved just like that. Don't enforce your will on other people's life. Once you do that, you create issues, right? There become riots, because this is a touchy subject in most people's homes due to religion. Right? If they don't want to talk about this, especially in elementary school, that's totally fine, right? Years ago, that was not acceptable in any school, any elementary school, right? Now it is, right? But the parents understand that. They don't want that. All right, guys, that's another video for the day, man. South Central, we out. Let's get it.
We be really politicking while we whipping in the kitchen. God be my witness. At the age of 15, I was fighting my fitness.